Today I'm going to give you guys a full tutorial on how to edit an iMovie in 2019. If you're looking for a quick refresher of iMovie, then I'm going to go through the full process and full rundown of iMovie in 2019. If you're looking for something more specific, I'm going to leave timestamps down below in the comments section that you guys can find. So let's waste no time while I give you guys a full tutorial on how to use iMovie in 2019. Okay, so when you first get into iMovie, you're going to be presented with three categories at the top: Media, Projects, and Theater. So if you click on the Media tab, you'll come over here and you'll find that it has all the media that's on your computer or in iMovie. Over on the left side, you're going to find what's known as the iMovie library. So what's a library? A library is basically an event that stores all of your footage. So for example, if I were to create a new event, let's just call this test. So why is this good? This will help you be able to collect footage into specific events so you're not mixing up all of your footage. You can access all of your photos if you want to import photos as well. By clicking on all events, this will show basically all the libraries that you have inside of iMovie currently. So if I click on iMovie library and I click this event inside the library, I can select this clip of me and I can edit this if I want to. There's a ton of features in here which we're going to cover in just a little bit. All these features are included in the main iMovie editing timeline, so I'm not going to really cover it here, but you can basically edit your image and do things to it within each library event. You can also search for specific clips up here. You can click this cog, you can make your clips bigger or smaller. You can zoom in on certain clips, or this shows the waveforms of the audio on the clips. This auto-enhances your clips. It'll basically auto-enhance the clip and make it look a little better. Right over here in the top left corner, you have import video from a camera or folder on your computer. So this is where you can directly import footage from your desktop or anywhere else on your computer. Over on the right side, you can take specific clips out of these libraries and you can click share. And you can share this to any destination. So if you want to share it to iMovie Theater or as a file onto your computer, or maybe even up to YouTube itself, you can do that from here. In the bottom left corner, you can add this to favorites or reject the selection. This basically allows you to favorite specific clips that you have in each of these events, and so it categorizes them for you. Or you can reject this selection and it gets rid of the clip entirely. If you'd like to full screen it, you can hit the bottom right corner. Okay, so that's the basic overview of what media is. So if you jump over to projects, if you click on the project screen, this holds all of your projects that you currently have in iMovie. We'll come back to this in just a second. So if you click on this theater button right here, this will basically take you to iMovie's cloud-based system. So this allows you to basically view any movies or anything else that you have on the cloud anywhere, such as on your iPhone or on another computer. If you have anything in your theater, you can share it at the top right corner as well. And that's what this little symbol is right here, is the cloud. Okay, so let's go back to the project screen. So once we're in projects, this is gonna hold all of your projects that you actually edit and customize. So click on Create New, and you're gonna be presented with two options. You're gonna be presented with Movie or Trailer. So if you click on Trailer, this will basically present you a ton of different little trailers that you can plug your clips into. They're actually kind of fun. And if you just click on them, such as Adrenaline, you can get a quick overview of what it is. And any of the clips they have in here, you can plug your clips into there, and they give you a step-by-step process on how to do so. And they all have their different themes to them as well. So if you click on the Adrenaline one and you decide to create a new trailer, I'll just give you guys a quick overview in here, but if you go in here, you have the outline section, which is basically your end credits scene to your trailer, that you can edit the text in here by calling this Daniel's Movie. This allows you to, as you notice, I typed in Daniel's Movie and it edited the text inside the video, so you don't have to go to actually each frame. It makes it a lot faster just to do it all in here. You can also change the logo if you wanted to, change it to something spooky, or you can change all the end credits right here at the end, and you can have some fun by putting in different people's names there. So on the storyboard section, this is basically where all the clips will go throughout the trailer. They give you an idea of what each clip is. It's meaning you might probably want to use a group shot here, a wide shot here, or a medium shot here. And then go up here, and then whatever clip you decide to use up here for that section, you click on it, it'll go straight down there. Or you can drag it down there as well. Once you've filled in all the spots, you'll see your trailer play out. Over on the shot list section, this is similar to the storyboard section. The only difference is that this groups all of the specific clips together. All the action clips will be all grouped together. All the group clips will be grouped together. All the landscape clips will be grouped together. Whereas this one follows the direct outline for the entire video. So that's the basic overview of how to make a movie trailer in iMovie. Let's hop over to the editing section and get editing on an actual project. Okay, so once I'm back at the project screen, you'll notice that my movie trailer has been saved to my project screen. If you click on this project, this is currently a trailer, and you can convert this trailer to a movie if you want to. And that's what we're going to make right now, actually. So if we go over to Create New, we'll create a new project. Once you've clicked Movie, you're presented with this layout here. This layout over here is the Viewfinder. This allows you to play back your videos, record audio, go full screen if you want to. It has also some other options which we're going to talk about in a little bit here. Over on the bottom is your editing timeline. This is where you're going to edit all your clips and move things around down here. Over on the top, this is where you manage all your media. So you'll bring clips from here down into the timeline, as well as editing audio, titles, backgrounds, and transitions. So over here on the left side, you have all of your events that are contained within the iMovie libraries. Over here on the top is your specific project that you're working on right now. So the difference between an event and a project. So an event is basically a conglomerate of footage that you've stored there. Let's say you want to make multiple projects, but you don't want all the same footage. So if you create this project, you can take different footage from each of these events right here that you have stored and separated and put them into this project if you want to. By right-clicking on each of these events, you can import media. Okay, so let's bring a clip down into the editing timeline so I can show you guys how to customize it. So I'm going to click on an event that I want, and I'm going to choose this clip right here of me doing a screen recording. And I'm just going to hit E. This will automatically bring it down to the timeline. You can also drag clips down into the timeline as well. Using keyboard shortcuts will speed up the process of editing so much faster and not make it take as long. So down here in the timeline, if you notice, you can grab the edges of the clip if you want to make it shorter or longer. Hit Command B, this will also split a clip. If you're looking for any specific if you're looking to do anything specific to the clip, just right click on the clip and you'll find all the options here. You can cut the clip here, you can copy the clip, you can delete it, you can split the clip, which is what we did. You can add freeze frames from here. You can detach the audio, and I can talk a little bit about that later, about how that's beneficial. You can trim the playhead here. Trimming the playhead is basically this. You can show the clip trimmer if you want to, and you can also show the speed editor, and this is basically allows you to speed or slow down the clip. By going forward, you'll obviously speed it up. By going backwards, you'll slow it down. And then hit Command Z if you want to undo anything. You can also reveal this project in your media. So this is actually pretty nice if you have a huge editing project and you're trying to find a specific clip up in the browser. All you have to do is just right click on it and it'll take it directly to that clip in the browser. So if you're looking for more information on how to do keyboard shortcuts, I'm not really going to cover that here because there's a ton of different ones. But if you are curious, just come up here to the top, go to Help, and click on Keyboard Shortcuts. This will take you to the internet where you can look up different keyboard shortcuts in iMovie. Okay, so we'll come back over here to the media browser. Right above it is the project properties. So this allows you to see all of the media that you have in your project. So if you want to select a specific selection in your clip, you can hit I, and you can hit O. And then you can drag that down to the timeline, and that will allow you to select specific clips out of that clip. Over in the audio section, this connects directly to your iTunes, so you can bring music in directly from there. And it's as easy as grabbing it and bringing it down into the timeline. So if you notice, after you click on iTunes, it shows all of your playlists that you have inside iTunes. So if you click on titles, this will show all the titles that you can use in iMovie. If you want to bring a title down to the timeline, just click on the title and you can drag it down, or you can click on a title, click on it, and hit Q, and it'll connect it to that spot directly where the playhead is. Okay, so once you click on titles, you can bring titles down into the timeline by either dragging them, or you can hit Q. That will bring them down as well. So how about we just bring the standard lower third down into the timeline, and we'll do this as an introduction here. I'm going to zoom in by hitting Command+. It'll automatically animate for you, so you don't have to do anything. If you'd like to edit your text, double click on it, and then type in whatever you want. And you can hit Tab, and it'll go down to the next one. To start a YouTube. And you'll notice it pops up right there. So there's a ton of different types of text that you can use. Go through this and have some fun playing with them. So if you'd like to customize your text specifically, you can go up to here. You can check all the different fonts, you can change the sizing, you can also change where it's at on the screen, and you can bold it, make it into italics, or you can outline the edges. Or you can change the color from here. And if you mess up and you don't like the text and you want to go back to the original default text, just click this reset button. Okay, so that's how you do the text. Let's go over to backgrounds now. Okay, so once you're in the background section, this basically has a bunch of different backgrounds that you can use for your video. So let's say if you're trying to put text over something, you can also place this background. If you're just trying to use text, then you can place this background under the text. So that's kind of handy. So after leaving the background section, you can go over to transitions. So there's a ton of different transitions that you can use in iMovie that can really make your editing awesome. So all you have to do is place it in between your clips. So bring it right down here, I'll put it between my two clips, and it'll do a cool little circle open transition. I can also fade to black if I want to. So there's a ton of different fun transitions that you can use, and you can put those in between the clips. Okay, so that's how you do transitions in iMovie. Now I'm going to show you guys how you can edit and manipulate each of your clips so it actually enhances the footage. Okay, so by selecting one of your clips, you can go over here to the top, over above the viewfinder, and the first thing you can do is you can auto-enhance the clip if you want. This basically color corrects the clip for you and balances all the colors in it for you, so you don't have to do anything. Now, it's not always perfect, so I wouldn't rely on this, but if you're just doing some casual editing, just do auto-enhance. Okay, so if you don't do auto-enhance, and you decide to actually manipulate the clip yourself, you come over here to the color balance. Click on color balance, and you're going to find that you have auto. So if you click on auto, this will actually color correct your entire clip for you, so you don't have to do that. So very similar to auto enhance. The only difference is that it doesn't use all these other settings that are included above the viewfinder. If you click on match color, you can come down here to any opposing clip, and you can click on that clip, and it'll match the color specifically to that clip. So this is handy if you're trying to match the same type of colors between two different clips. So once you've selected the clip that you want to match, you come over here to the top right corner, and you can click this button if you want to toggle the effect so you can see what it looks like. It's really handy in seeing if you actually have the desired effect that you're looking for. If you want to reject this, you can click this cancel button, or you can apply the color adjustment to it. So if I apply it, it'll permanently have the same color correction as this other clip. That's what the match color section is. If you do the white balance section, so this is basically if you've gotten the wrong white balance in your camera. This shouldn't be a huge issue, especially if you're just shooting on an iPhone or something. It'll have auto white balance on your camera. So if you basically have any problems with white balance in your clip, this will fix the white balance issue by either getting rid of the really orange clip or a really bluish clip. So in order to do that, you actually have to select a color in the screen, and as you notice, it will change the color of the screen. But seeing as I don't have any white balance issues for this clip, it's not going to do it properly. So if you do have some orange colors or any really bluish colors, it'll get rid of those colors and balance them out for you on the screen. You can do skin tone balance as well. If the skin tones aren't looking good in the video, they're looking either too orange or way too pale, this will actually balance out your skin tones for you. Doing the same thing, you can click on the skin tone, it'll balance everything out. But seeing as I correctly exposed this clip when I first shot this, my skin tones are actually looking pretty good. Okay, coming over to the color correction tab. So if you click on the color correction, so in this section, this is basically how you color correct a clip. So over here on the left side, so basically you have this line that probably looks a little intimidating, a little confusing. Now the biggest drawback for iMovie is it doesn't have any waveform indicators, so you can't indicate whether your clip is balanced. But the nice thing is that you can still try to balance the clips with these really basic color correction tools. If you're ever confused about what any of these do, just highlight your mouse right over it and it'll say adjust shadows to make dark areas lighter or darker. So if my shadows are too dark, I can bring this up or I can bring it down. And I can crush those shadows. Same thing over here, this one's my highlights. So I can bring this up, fix my highlights, or I can bring it down. Probably gonna bring it up just a tad. If I come over to right here, I can adjust the contrast. I can make it really contrasty, or I can make it really soft. And then right here in the middle, I can adjust the brightness of the clip. So if it's really dark, I can adjust the brightness right here, or I can bring this down. Probably just gonna leave it right there because it's looking pretty good. And the same thing for this one. This one basically increases the contrast. Both these little circles are moving at the same time. If I come over here, you'll notice that this is the saturation tab. I can click this saturation button. It'll increase the saturation for the entire clip, or it'll decrease it and take it out completely. I think I'm just gonna increase it just slightly. Over here is the temperature. So if you notice, if I grab this will be the overall look of the entire film. So if I move this forward, this will change the look for the entire clip. So it'll add a lot oranger, more yellowy type colors to it, or this will add a more bluish hue to it. This basically helps you adjust the hue to the clip. If you have a clip that's either too blue or too orange, you can add this on to actually fix up the clip. So that's basically the minor color correction tools, and I hope that really helped you guys. Okay, so the next section is cropping. So in cropping, so fit is basically fitting the entire screen here. So if you hit the crop to fill, what this is basically saying is if you click this clip, it will basically crop this entire clip, but also fill this entire screen with this. So if I hit this check mark, you notice that it zooms in. It's cropping everything around it, but it's also filling the screen, so you're not leaving any black bars or anything around. And then I'm gonna go to Ken Burns. So the Ken Burns effect is kind of fun. It's best to be used for photos, but you can use it for your video clips. So if you notice here, there's a start and then there's an end right here. So in the start section, you're basically gonna have an invisible camera that's going to zoom into your clip with this Ken Burns effect. Let's just find out what happens when you use the Ken Burns effect. So if you hit the check mark, it'll basically do an animated zoom into your clip. So similar to the crop, the only difference is it's animating into it. You can move the start and have this start wherever. You could actually move this inside if you wanted to. Have it start cropped in this far, and then you can have it start cropped out. Let's say right there. So this is where your clip is going to end, where it says end, and this is how big the frame is going to be when it ends, and this is how big it's going to be when it starts. So if you hit play, you'll notice I'm zooming out with the Ken Burns effect. So if you're curious about this button right here, if you're looking to just switch the start and the end areas, this will do it for you automatically so you don't have to resize them. So if I click this, you'll notice that the start goes to the middle. If I click it again, the start goes to the outside. I can also come up to here and I can rotate the clip clockwise if I want to. So if you're looking to make it upside down or to the side, this will help you. So let's say you shot your camera upside down and you need to put it right side up. This is where you'd come to fix that at. Okay, the next step is stabilization. So if you click on stabilization, basically what stabilization does is it automatically stabilizes the video for you. So if you have a little bit of shaky video, it works really well. If you have super shaky video, it doesn't work so well. I wouldn't recommend it. So in order to stabilize the video, you just click the stabilize button. So basically it just needs some time to render the video. Once it's done, it'll stop, that little line will stop circling. Once it's done, you'll have a check mark there, and your video will be completely stabilized. You can either do the automatic, or you can increase the stabilization if you want from 33% all the way up to 100%. Just depending on how much you want it cropped in, that's basically it. You can fix rolling shutter on your camera. Rolling shutter is basically where, if you're moving your camera from side to side really fast, you'll have an extreme amount of motion blur going back and forth. But seeing as I don't have any extreme amount of motion blur, this won't actually affect my clip at all. So once the rolling shutter is done, you can go over here and you can click low, medium, high, or extra high, depending on how bad your rolling shutter is. Okay, so the next step is clicking on volume. Volume is pretty self-explanatory. If you just click auto, it'll automatically fix the volume for you. If you just click auto, it'll automatically improve the loudness of the audio. So if it's too quiet, it'll increase it a little bit for you. But if you'd like to increase it yourself, you can do that from here. Or from here, you can also mute the clip so you don't hear any sound. You can lower the volume of the other clips around it. So if you click the lower the volume of the other clips, you're gonna need to make sure that the clip is selected in order to do this. So if you select this clip and you click lower volume of other clips, any other clips that you have selected, so if you decide to select multiple clips, like 2 of these, if you click the lower volume of other clips, this will lower all the volume of the other clips around that are on the timeline. Okay, the next section is reduce background noise. This basically allows you to reduce the background noise around you. So if you're outside next to a busy street, this will help with fixing that. It's not perfect, so don't rely on it. It sounds like you're inside like a tunnel sometimes. The sound won't sound that good sometimes though if you increase this all the way to 100%, just warning you now. Over in the Equalizer, you'll find a whole host of different settings that you can choose from. So flat is basically the normal audio that comes out of your camera. Voice enhance will obviously enhance the voice and make it a little more crisper, give it more voiceovery. Music enhance is probably better on music clips. It'll enhance all the properties on the clips. These are all automatic for it. And loudness just makes the clip a little louder. Hum reduction gets rid of the humming sounds in the background. And all these treble and bass things, they either reduce or increase the bass or treble. The next section is the speed section. If you look on speed, you'll have normal, slow, fast, freeze frame, or custom. You have a few options right here. You have smooth, reverse, preserve pitch, or reset. You can hit reverse, and this will actually reverse the clip. So you have slow, so you can slow it down. You have percentages for slowing it down, 10%, 25, 50, or auto. Or you can do fast, and this will do 2 times, 4 times, 8 times, and 20 times. Or you can do freeze frame, and there's the percentage that you can put the amount of second, and you can put the amount of seconds for the freeze frame. Or you can do custom, and this basically is you can put the percentage of how fast or how slow directly from here. But like I said, you can just come down here and use this thing back and forth if you want to do it manually with your hand. So that's how you do the speed section of the clip. So if you click on this next clip, this is the clip filter and audio effects. So if you click on the clip filter, you'll notice that you can get a bunch of different effects in here. You can flip it, you can do black and white, you can do noir, silent era, vintage. Basically adds a bunch of different filters to it. It's kind of fun to do. iMovie's really awesome for this because iMovie's really fun for this because this is why iMovie's awesome, especially for YouTube, because they give you all of these cool effects that you don't really have to color correct with, but they give you these cool filters anyways for free. So this is basically like Instagram filters if you think about it. You can scan across these clips and see what they look like with these different effects on there. You can hit spacebar on them if you want to see what those clips look like as the video is playing. You can flip the screen from here so you can be on the other side. So I'm going to do romantic. So that filter will automatically be applied to my clip. If I do an audio effect, I can click on none, and I can choose different audio effects. It can be muffled, and I can just hit spacebar on it. Let's speed this up so you guys can actually hear it a little bit better. So I can sound like a robot, cosmic, or sound like I'm in a big cathedral, or put the pitch all the way down. There's a ton of different options that you can do for this. So I'm gonna do telephone for fun. Okay, as you notice, there's little blue things highlighted up here as I've been going through the clips. This is basically telling me that I've done this specific clip has things done to it in these sections. So that's really handy for you to know if you come to a clip and you're like, what is wrong with this clip? What did I do to this? And how can I fix it? If you just go up here, you can click on the blue section. You'll know automatically what has been done in there. So the last section is this little information box. So this basically gives you information about the specific clip that you have. This tells you how long the specific clip is currently. So this clip is currently at 3 seconds because I trimmed it, but its total clip length is actually 9 seconds if I stretch it out more. And this gives you just information about the clip, when it was shot, what kind of file it is, and what time it was shot at. And if you don't like any of those effects on the clip, you can go over here and hit reset all, and it'll automatically clean up the whole clip for you and go back to the original clip. So if this process is making sense so far, you're confused about anything, let me know down in the comments below, and I'd love to answer your guys' questions. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I'm going to teach you guys about how you can use green screen effects in iMovie. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this green screen clip down here. So I'm going to select a specific selection. I think I like this little triangle thing. So I'm going to hit I and O to get my specific selection, and then I'm going to hit Q to bring it on top of this clip right here. So just keep in mind, this green screen effect will not work if it's down here. I'm just letting you know that right now. The only way that this is going to work is if it's up here on top of a clip. So once it's on top of the clip, select the clip, and then if you notice up here, a new effect has popped up. It's video overlay settings. So I'll click this effect, and you'll notice it says cutaway, green/blue screen, split screen, or picture-in-picture. So we're just going to do green/blue screen first. So if you click green/blue screen, you'll notice that it automatically gets rid of the green screen for you. So then I can select the clip, and there we go. I got a transition between these two clips. So that's how you can use green screen effects in iMovie. So let's find out what happens if we take this green screen effect off and go to cutaway. And then you take this effect and you drag it down here. You'll notice if I have the clip selected and I come up to here, that cutaway thing is not there anymore. So make sure it's on top of the clip in order for this to work. So that's how you use green screen effects in iMovie. So I hope that tutorial portion on how to use green screen effects in iMovie made sense. So just make sure it's not down on the main editing timeline, it's above the clip, so you're gonna have to drag it up there. So let's say you're doing a screen recording and you wanna put your face up on the screen recording as you're doing it. Now I don't do that in my tutorials, but it is a good way to do it. So in order to do a screen recording, you just select the specific clip that you want. I'm gonna place this over my drone footage. As you notice, I can't see my drone footage anymore, and I want to get myself talking about the drone footage in this clip. So what I would do is I'd come up here to cutaway again, and I'd click the picture-in-picture mode. So if you notice, it crops down my picture automatically, and I can put myself anywhere in this video. So as I'm playing this drone footage, as you guys have noticed, my little picture will pop up at the bottom, and I'll start talking over it. So if you don't like where it's at, you can go up here and click this cutaway button, and you can move yourself around anywhere in the clip. Okay, but I'm gonna put this in the bottom right corner, I think. You can add cross dissolve to it, zoom, or swap. And what that means is when the picture-in-picture comes in, it'll either cross dissolve in, it'll zoom in, it will swap it in. So swap basically means it'll full screen it for a little bit until you want to make it big. So you can add borders around it, or you can click on this color and change the colors of the borders. You can add a shadow as well. So the last step is split screen. So if you go over to picture-in-picture, you can hit split screen, and under split screen, you'll see it just basically splits the screen for you. And like I said, it has to be above the clip in order for this to work. You can position this left, right, top, or bottom. Or you can slide. You can have your clip slide in. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys have any other tips for editing in iMovie that I missed. Be sure to subscribe to the video, and I'll see you guys next time.